For the past few days, they have been having approached Simon Ekpa, how to negotiate with Simon Ekpa. I am saying it openly this evening space. I am not open for negotiation, and no Biafra person serving under Biafra government is open for negotiation. I'm talking to anybody back home who are out of the government. Our talk with them will start by pulling the military out of Biafra street. Our talk with them will see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu walking freely out of the DSS dungeon. That is the term and condition of negotiation. Apart from that, we will give you ×3 of what we have given you before.
Yes, my deputy PM, I want to ask this question as a Biafran, as a concerned citizen of Biafra. I also ask this question as a citizen who wants this government to succeed. And I'm also asking this question as a member of BWOC, Biafran Writers of Conscience. Before I forget, my deputy PM, you made mention of having a call with one of the administrators, or do I say brother to a governor in that contraction called Nigeria. And I don't know how that will sound in the ears of Biafrans. Please, is that wise to call or make call or allow your phone number to be with the terrorist Nigerian state administrators?
Yeah, actually, this guy, he was my schoolmate. Actually, we were all in Unibent together, Pedro Abaseki, so he is my friend. But the thing is that he's championing this Edo course and all that. And then he called to tell me that Urobo Isoko is not, it shouldn't be part of Biafra. But remember, Biafra has Urobo Isoko state. So all I explained to him is that he in the administrator of the Urobo state, and there's nothing to worry. I mean, we're schoolmates, and we reach out to each other every now and then. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. If you oblige me, I have like 5 pressing questions that I now would like me to ask you.
No. She can't.
Okay, let me.
Ex-Brgie cabinet members, the criminal lobbyists that are parading with them in the name of trying to restore Biafra. Biafrans already stopped them on their track. That is why they don't go. They can't move anywhere. Not when some of us. Not when some of us. So, Nigerian government, I promise you today, the money you are giving to is a waste because they cannot go anywhere. They can't go far. Once they take one step, we are taking 5 steps ahead of them.
Simon Ekpa. Biafra, you, because you are not pure, you are not whiter than snow. After Chamaka Jerry speaks, I'll be dropping it as it comes.
IPOB to know tonight that being called a terrorist because you're fighting for your land and your nation is a badge of honor. It means you've arrived. It means the enemy is scared of what you're doing. And it means that you're succeeding at whatever thing that you're doing. Are you following me? If you are in freedom fighting anywhere in the world, and the people you're fighting have not come to refer to you as a terrorist, then that means you're not doing anything. That means you're not threatening the status quo.
Your Excellency, my name is Jim Moran. I served in the United States Congress for approximately a quarter of a century. After I left the Congress, I
we remember our Prime Minister. God bless United States of America. God bless United States of Biafra. Together, we will all make Biafra great again. Together, we will all win again. Together, we will all succeed again. Together, we will liberate Biafra. Thank you, and good afternoon from me.
I am not a pushover, and I believe Nigeria have seen that. If you think that Simon Ekpa is somebody you can push over, then you don't know me. I am here to end Tinubu. I am here to end Nigeria. I am here to end the Usman Dan Fodio legacy. I will end it. The people who have ended it in their different countries doesn't have to end. I am going to be more than any of all those people who have fought freedom, including Gandhi. I am here to be more than Gandhi. Gandhi did not even fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. Nelson Mandela did not fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. And so I brought up myself, I'm well cooked for this particular freedom. So anybody thinking that Simon Ekpa is going down, you don't know what is coming. You still have a long way to go. I will be here to finish this job, and by December I will issue a declaration for the restoration of the independent state of Biafra, and the flag of Biafra will rise very, very high all over the world. That day, every mountain office all over the world of Biafra will rise the Biafra flag very, very high. We will raise it very, very high from homeland to all over the world, and then after that, the diplomatic battle will begin for recognition of Biafra government. I want you to understand that forget whatever that is going on social media, forget whatever that the Nigeria terrorist states are saying on social media and behaving on their National Assembly. They know that the game is over. I am telling you the fact. The northern Nigeria know that the game is over. I know what is going on within them. The presidency of Nigeria know that the game is over. The Senate President Akpabio knows that the game is over. The only people that do not know, or maybe they are just skeptical, are the gullible one Nigerians who are believing in the Nigeria terrorist army that they have the capability to eliminate Biafrans, not knowing that I actually lost the war already before even the war started.
People must come out and say that enough is enough. When you travel to the north, do you live in the forest in the north? The Igbo people in Sabongeri in Kanu, are they living of course it's Hausa land, are they living in the forest? They came to the town, they work very hard, they build houses, they build mansions, they develop the entire place. Is that not what they do? What are Fulani people doing in our forest? Nobody can answer that question. They say that they're pastoralists. World aspiring to be a member of the UN Security Council, where you move cattle from place to place. Are you people well at all? You so-called Nigerians, are you normal in the brain? I'm asking you a simple question. Show me a country that aspires to be in the 21st century, moving cattle from place to place. Tell me they're grazing. Which country is that? Please tell me. These are people that have prepared for you to sell you down the drain. By the time the Fulanis are done with you, believe you me, if you don't rise up now to fight for your freedom, by the time Fulanis are done with you, you'll be more useless than a Hausa peasant.
The Igbos politicians are useless, very, very useless. The governors of Southeast are very, very useless. The Ndigbo as a Igbo socio-cultural group is also a very useless organization. The Southeast governors are so useless, they are useless to themselves, and they are even useless to their people. If not because these people are so useless, I see no reason that Nnamdi Kanu should still be in detention, dramatically kidnapped in Kenya, brought into this country, and then dramatic allegation against him. For many years he has been in detention. And look at what is happening in the north. The play of shame and disgrace in the north. In the north, the northern politician actually agitated for the forgiveness of Boko Haram. Boko Harams were forgiven, clothed, they were given money, clothes, and they were even fed with rice and chicken. And look at the recent disgrace and shame, the display of disgrace and shame of this country in Katsina. Just this week, where bandits and haters came with their ammunition, talking with tenacity and without any fear, with ammunitions, AK-47, peace reconciliation, they were boastful and talking to Nigeria as a federal government as if they were addressing school children. And yet Kano is in detention. And somebody will not tell me that the Eastern governors are useless. Look, the South need to wake up. Oh. The South need to wake up. Because what the North is doing is actually it's so dramatic and so disgustful and so it's so shame. And it's so disgusting to the extent that you ask either we have one country. We ask either we even have a constitution in this country. Do we have a constitutional authority in this country? Different rules for different regions and for different people. Nigeria is a joke.
Good afternoon, Biafrans, wonderful people and lovers of freedom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your location and your time. Welcome you to today's edition of the Questionnaire. Our broadcast today, I really appreciate every one of you that is joining us. Please, as you come in, share, and share so that other people can join us as well. Minister Love Akubundu, I see you from here. Welcome, Minister, and thank you for what you guys are doing for the government. William Elwai. William, I appreciate your presence. Thank you for joining me. So, Biafrans, as you join us, like, share, and comment so that we know where you are watching us from. If you are watching us from the land of our ancestors, well, if you are watching us from the zoo, Nigeria, I welcome you as well. I want Biafrans in the zoo, living in the zoo, to listen to this broadcast so that they can wake up, because Biafrans are really sleeping when they need to be awake.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Jim Moran. I served in the United States Congress for approximately a quarter of a century. After I left the Congress, I began to represent some corporations and countries and causes that I believe in. It has been an honor to work with you, Your Excellency. Elias Gerasulis is my partner. This is primarily Elias's account, but I'm going to be working with him. While I was in the Congress, I was on the committee that funds defense and State Department foreign operations as the foreign relations for an independence, just and noble cause. I I trust that you have had. We can't promise because the particularly predictable situation in the United States today, and justice is not always served, but we will work towards that objective. I appreciate the opportunity to work on behalf of the Biafran people, and at this point, to Elias. Elias?
Oh, thank you, Jim. And it's an honor to be working with you on this, and we appreciate your lending your support, someone of your prestige and stature. That association would be so critical. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, Your Excellencies, and dear Biafrans in the United States and around the world. My name is Elias Yarsulis, and I am a good friend and colleague of Congressman Moran, and we are your new lobbyists here in Washington, D.C. However, you should know that we are more than just your lobbyists. We are fellow freedom fighters in the struggle for the liberation of Biafra. And similar to how your compatriots in the Biafran Defense Forces are securing your freedom on the homeland, we will be fighting for your freedom in the political and diplomatic battlefield here in Washington, D.C. And we will make sure that all these U.S. officials, all these congressmen and senators understand that the Biafran independence movement is a pure democratic civilian uprising against injustice, the very same one that we had in the United States when we declared our independence from the British 200 years ago. On a personal level, I knew I had to get involved in this struggle, not only because of my belief in the Biafran cause, but my belief in His Excellency, the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. As I got to know the Prime Minister, I could see that he has remarkable leadership qualities and vision. And I knew that instinctively that he was a man of destiny and that he will have a very important impact in Africa in the years to come. And I thought it was a personal duty to assist him. Already, the Prime Minister has made remarkable progress and has outsmarted the Nigerian system in many ways. The Prime Minister has done this with the self-referendum. He has done this with opening diplomatic liaison offices around the world. And I think by establishing a proper Biafran lobby in Washington, D.C., the Prime Minister has delivered his master stroke. And if you can look at the Nigerian media and the social media, you will see that this is something that's been highly publicized. And I think this is because they understand the moment that the United States starts to gain more support for the Biafran cause, it will be a game changer. Because when the United States leads, other countries follow. Congressman Moran and myself are your voice to the U.S. Congress, your voice to the White House, your voice to the State Department, your voice to the highest offices in this great land. And we will not stop until victory is achieved. Long live a free, independent, and sovereign Biafra. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that brilliant speech there. Elias, we're happy to have you on board, and we have a lot of things to do together. Thank you. This particular appearance today is just to present you to the Biafrans in the United States. As I made my promise, I have fulfilled it. It is now that we go do what we know how to do best for the interest of Biafra.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. It's our honor, and we look forward to serving you in the cause. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Mr. President. It was a pleasure to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chimora. Thank you.
Come out to say that enough is enough. When you travel to the north, do you live in the forest in the north? The Igbo people in Sabangari in Kanu, are they living of course it's Hausa land, are they living in the forest? They came to the town, they work very hard, they build houses, they build mansions, they develop the entire place. Is that not what they do? What are Fulani people doing in our forest? Nobody can answer that question. They say that they're pastoralists. World aspiring to be a member of the UN Security Council, where you move cattle from place to place. Are you people well at all? You so well in the brain? I'm asking you a simple question. Show me a country that aspires to be in the 21st century, moving cattle from place to place, telling me they're grazing. Which country is that? Please tell me. These are people they have prepared for you to sell you down the drain. By the time the Fulanis are done with you, believe you me, if you don't rise up now to fight for your freedom, by the time Fulanis are done with you, you'll be more useless than a Hausa peasant.
That is the voice of Ohamadike of Biafra. That is the voice of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, warning Biafrans, warning Nigerians, warning lovers to rise up and fight for what is rightfully theirs. You fight for your right. You fight for your right to live. Fight for your freedom. Because if you don't do that, nobody will do that for you. You fight to defend your people. You fight to defend yourself. If you don't do that, nobody is going to do that for you. You fight for what you believe in. If you don't do that, nobody will come and take medicine for your own headache. No. Our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, saw what is happening today years back. And he warned, importantly, the Biafran people that the Fulanis are coming. They have an agenda to execute. They have a policy to implement. They have to use most of you to make sure that they execute their projects. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu warned Biafrans to be wary of the takia of the Fulani being used by the British against the indigenous people. Years and years back, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya. Nigeria tries to stop Mazi Nnamdi from warning the people of the impending doom that the Nigerian government planned against them. And when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was taken in, Obatobie, the prime minister, also came out and started reminding our people of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, the warnings of our leader that have come to pass, the prophecy of our leader that have been fulfilled. And they also tried to stop Obatobie, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku. The Nigerian government eventually had an agreement with Finland, and they succeeded in arresting our prime minister and putting him in detention in order to stop what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said from our people getting the message, in order for them to stop people from listening to Simon Ekpa, educating our people and exposing the atrocities of the Nigerian state. Finland negotiated with Nigeria politically for their selfish interest, and they detained our prime minister, while the Nigerian government continued to carry out the atrocities in Biafra land. All over Nigeria, the atrocities of the Nigerian state, everyone can see it. Communities are running away, parents are being killed, children are losing their parents, parents are losing their children. It is very, very unfortunate. The Nigerian government atrocity against the people. More importantly, against the Biafran people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood against it. Prime Minister Simon Ekpa stood against it. And when they kidnapped our leader, and when they arrested our Prime Minister, the acting Prime Minister, Ogechukwu Nkere, is now repeating what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said in 2012 to 2021 that they kidnapped him. Is now repeating our Prime Minister said in 2019 to 2024 that he was called for questioning. He is still educating Biafrans to remember the prophecies of our leader, to remember the warnings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that the terrorists have come and they have sponsors. The Islamic world are sponsoring the terrorists in Nigeria. The Nigerian government wants to take over indigenous people's land, convert each and every one of you to Islam, so that Nigeria will be an Islamic state. Even as we speak, Nigeria is already an Islamic state because Nigeria attend meetings with the Islamic countries. It is only Biafran territory that is giving Nigeria a very strong pushback against total Islam. And that is why you see Biafran land, the terrorists that we have now are the terrorists in uniform that the Nigerian government are using to kill our people, to burn our communities, to kidnap the young men and harvest their organs, to burn our properties, to intimidate the youth, to harass them. Obinze is there, Tiger Base is there, all the atrocities that is happening in Biafran territory, they are caused by the Nigerian government. The insecurity they talk about is the result of the Nigerian government activities in Biafran territory because they have captured the north. The terrorists are moving freely in the north, and the Nigerian government are handing over their military hardware to the terrorists. It is only from land that they are getting resistances. And that is why we are calling us all over the world. If you have not listened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, listen to Mazi Simon Ekpa. If you have not listened to Mazi Simon Ekpa, go and listen to Mazi Ogechukwu Nkere, or go and listen to our information ministers, or go and listen to Biafran media platforms. Go and listen to people who are telling you the truth. Biafran Republic Government in Ezra Media is telling you the truth, bringing the information as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it in 2012, up to this moment, for you to understand that the terrorists have an agenda. And that agenda is what they have come to implement in Biafran territory. Only that we have the Biafran Defense Forces that are preventing them from total occupation or Islamization of our land. If you don't know what it means to Islamize a people, go and check what is happening in Benue State. Go and check what is happening in Borno, Katsina. All these places are inhabited by the Hausa tribe and the Christians as well. The places all over the north, you know, the Fulanis are strangers. They are not indigenous to Nigeria. They came from Futajelon. But the people who gave them the opportunity to break the havoc that they are committing today is the Hausa tribe. As at 1904, when the Fulani through Osman Dan came into the Nigerian, they deceived the Hausa tribe with their religion, Islam, and lied to them that they have come to hold their leaders accountable because their leaders were corrupt. Their leaders were corrupt. So the Fulanis came, started deceiving the Hausa that the corruption of their leaders will be taken care of if they can accept them, join their religion, and listen to them. The Hausa tribe believed, thinking that these people have a genuine agenda to promote, thinking that these people have come for their betterment. Why they accepted the Fulanis into their communities, the Fulani. I am live. Vote illegal. Vote illegal. So the Fulani deceived the Hausa people. The Hausa people gave them opportunity of holding their kings accountable. And what does that mean? They deceived them into killing all their kings, all their emirs. And when they take down their emirs, they replace them with a Fulani emir. This was how the Fulanis overpowered Hausa tribe. Thank you so much, Biafra and Beyond TV. 1804. Yes, I said 1804, 1800. Okay, 1904. Okay, sorry. 1804. Thank you so much. And that is why we have Biafrans who are very much versed in the history of what we are talking about. So this 1804, when the Hausa tribe, the Fulani now overpowered all their kings. Some were chased out of Hausa land. Some were killed. And when they killed them, they replaced them with Fulani. And that is how the Hausa tribe were conquered. Today, what you hear is no longer Hausa. You now hear Fulani. Before it was Hausa Fulani. But after they completed their conquering the Hausa tribe, like our leader said, are just like peasants. They cannot rise up again because their strong men have been taken out. And the Fulanis have taken over in the north today. There is no emir that is Hausa. All the emirs in the north are Fulanis who are alien, who are visitors, who are strangers, who came to the Hausa land as at 1804. And today, the Hausa do no longer exist. They only exist by that name, Hausa. So that is the same thing that the Fulanis wanted to replicate in Biafran territory. First of all, they gave the useless politicians positions. They gave them positions and they have to sign a document or an undertaking that whatever the Fulani demand from them, that is what they are going to do. So when you see that Biafrans are being killed and those politicians, those governors, senators, rep members are not talking, is the agreement that they have with the Fulani, they cannot speak because that is their agenda, to use them to conquer the people of Biafra. And that is why they are the ones who even proscribe IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. They proscribe themselves as well because of their positions, because of what they are going to gain from the Fulani or the government of Nigeria. They proscribe their own people. They are even helping the Fulanis to bring in terrorists in Biafra land in order to conquer the youth who said we can never be alive and allow our land to be Islamized. Just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, just like our Prime Minister said, Just like our acting Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere have said, just like every genuine Biafra is saying, we can never allow our land, the land that our fathers, our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers were born, the land that they inhabited and left for us. We can never allow the Fulanis and their stooges in our land to conquer us and give that land to the Fulanis. It can never happen. And that is why whatever you see happening today, the politicians from the southeast who have sold their soul to the devil are not supporting. They are not supporting the freedom of their people because of their compromised position. And that is not going to deter us from achieving our freedom. And that is why we are calling on Biafrans all over the world. If you want to be free, support the Biafran Republic government in exile, support the Biafran de facto government in the homeland. Very, very important. At this particular time, our acting Prime Minister is Ogechukwu Nkere, and the de facto government in the homeland is being headed by the Biafran Defense Council Chief, Mazi Success, and the Chief of Defense Staff is General Triple General Igwebutuzo. These are the men who are making it very, very difficult for the terrorist Nigerian state to take over our land and our territory. So now what is happening in Nigeria today? That Islamization agenda, Nigerian government is going ahead with it. Even in Biafran territory, in a pushback, a very powerful pushback from the Biafran Defense Forces. I want to that Nigeria is destined for destruction, like our leader said. Inasmuch as their secret, inasmuch as their evil plans have been revealed, they are still going ahead with their Islamization agenda. They are still going ahead with the conquerors, their conquering tendencies against the indigenous people. That is why you see numbers and numbers of killings that is happening in Nigeria today. You wake up today, you hear one community is gone. You wake up the next day, you hear that another community is gone. Why is it so? That is the agenda of the terrorist Nigerian state. And the reason why they are doing that is because they want to inflict fear on the population, on those who will stand up tomorrow. They are just giving you a sign and a warning that this will be your fate if you rise up to confront them. And all in the guise that they are protecting their region. That, oh, this is a holy war, this is a jihadist war, if against Islam, you are gone. They behead you, they burn you alive in a country where they said it is a secular state. In a country that they said that it is a secular state, this is what is happening in it. So Biafrans in the homeland Biafrans in diaspora, anywhere that you are all over the world, you should understand that it is only your government, Brgie, that will be your saving grace. It is only Brgie that can give you freedom. No other nation, no other government will. This picture you see here is the fallout of the Islamic conquest agenda. These are Christians who were killed by the terrorist Nigerian state. This is to send a very strong message to you, of those who are Christians and have strong faith in Christ, that this will be your fate if you don't convert to Islam. And even while all these killings are happening, the GOs, your pastors, are not saying anything, because every one of them are afraid of the Fulanis. Every one of them are afraid to speak out against the persecution, these killings that is happening all over Nigeria, because they don't want to be quiet, they don't want to be killed. And all of them are aware that the Nigerian government is complicit, that they collude with the terrorists to kill the people. So they are all left to their fate. Nobody can speak because all of them are afraid to die. Why every day they wake up, they go to church, they tell you to pray, they tell you to fast, they tell you that God is this, that God is that. But the Bible made us to understand that the kingdom of God itself suffered violence. And for you to be violent, that means you have to enter the kingdom of God. And it is only the violent that taketh it by force. So, in other words, if you are not violent, according to that literary meaning of what that Bible quotation said, you cannot enter the kingdom of God. In the Bible, God, you saw how the Israelites fought wars. They didn't fight wars with only prayers. They didn't fold their hands and pray and ask God to come and fight for them. No. They were equipped with chariots. They were equipped with swords. Then they back it up with prayers. But in the contraption called Nigeria, they ask you only to pray. Even some are even against self-defense. That is very, very sad, because they are afraid the government that is sponsoring the killing will come for them. But the people of Biafra, we have gallant men and women who are standing ground for us. As Nigeria is handing over the north, Nigeria have handed over the north to the terrorists, because the terrorists are having a field day. The Boko Haram, nobody is challenging them in the north. The ISIS, the ISWAP, nobody is actually challenging them anywhere around Nigeria, especially in the north. Nobody is challenging them. They go to southern Kaduna. They can bomb villages down. They can raise down communities. The army will not come. The police will not come. In Borno, they can take over military formations, barracks, cut out ammunitions, carry their armored tanks. Nobody will challenge them. This is a proof to you that it is the Nigerian government that is actually handing over all these military hardware to them. And the reason why they are doing that is because they want to continue their Islamization agenda, and they are using the terrorists that they are created in order to implement that agenda. Just like what happened in Afghanistan. I want to take you back in 2021. The Taliban was an Islamic militant group. They are often referred to as the terrorist army. Yes, the Taliban are the Islamic jihadists. American government fought against them for a very long time. American government equipped the Afghanistan army to fight the Taliban. But what happened? The Afghanistan army handed over all the military wares. All the military wares that America was supplying them to fight against the Taliban, the Afghan army handed it over to the Taliban. So these are the terrorist army due to their history of harboring Al-Qaeda and conducting insurgency attacks, just like what is happening in Nigeria today. Nigeria have ISIS, they have ISWAP, they have Ansawaru or whatever, they have Fulani herdsmen, they have Mayeti Allah, they have a lot of Boko Haram, a lot of terrorist groups, just like the Taliban in Afghanistan. And in August 15, 2021, the Afghanistan army surrendered every ammunition, every hardware, every military hardware that the American government were supporting them to fight against Taliban. They just surrendered it to the Taliban. And this marked the rapid collapse of the US-backed Afghan government as Taliban forces entered the city of Kabul without a significant resistance after overpowering provincial capitals in the preceding weeks. The same thing that is happening in Nigeria today. You see how the military are taking over, running over military barracks in Borno, in Katsina. Nobody is challenging them. The military is not there to confront them. No. Once the Nigerian government went and supplied the army barracks with arms and ammunition, with trucks, the terrorists will go there and cutter it out. Nobody is going to confront them. This is what happened in Afghanistan. Nobody have been challenging the Boko Haram, the ISIS, the ISWAP, the Fulani herdsmen that are ravaging the north, taking over territories, even controlling communities, even having peace deal with politicians in the north. Nobody is challenging them. Nobody is asking them questions. The military and the police are in Biafran territory looking for Biafran agitators to kill, looking for Maazin Nnamdi Kanu, looking for Simon Ekpa, looking for Ogechukwu Nkere, looking for Gentle, looking for Igwe Butuzo, looking for Brigadier Njem, looking for Holy Ghost, looking for the men who say Biafra land can never be Islamized. This is what the Nigerian government, army, and police are doing in Biafran territory, thereby leaving the terrorists to take over the north unchallenged. The takeover of the Afghanistan Taliban followed the withdrawal of US and NATO forces under a 2020 Doha agreement ending a 20-year war. The Taliban declared an Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan and installed an interim government that day with their supreme leader, effectively ruling from Kandahar. This is actually what Nigerian government wants to happen. Now that the terrorists are taking over communities and taking over military positions in the north, once that they have achieved that, you will see them hand over Abuja to Shekau and his men of Boko Haram. Because Shetima is already there. Shetima is the founder of Boko Haram. So all these people that are in charge of Nigeria, especially those of them from the north, they are going to be comfortable in an Islamic state than in a secular state that Nigeria is supposed to be. And that is why we are telling our people to wake up if they are still sleeping, because they don't know what the program the Fulani have against them. Only those of us who are students of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku understand the game these people are playing. And that is why before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, he set up a group, he set up a platform whereby Biafra can never be Islamized anymore. He set up the Biafran Eastern Security Network before on 2020. That the ESN now chased the Fulanis who are living in the bushes, who would have used the bushes to launch an attack on Biafran territories and communities. ESN was drafted into the bushes to drive them away. Our PM in 2023 now merged all the arms group that were fighting for Biafra, now merged together and come under the Biafran Republic government in exile, and that gave birth to the Biafran Liberation Army that are now in charge of the protection of Biafran territory. So, Biafrans, why the Nigerian government are handing over the north to the terrorists, we should be supporting the BRGIE and the BDF so that they will continue to hold their ground. They will continue to protect and defend Biafra land from the terrorists, army and police that are harassing our people, intimidating our people in our homeland. Very, very important. So what you see happening in Nigeria today is a planned takeover of Nigeria by the Islamic world, just like what happened in Afghanistan. And we are not going to fold our hands. As long as they come to our communities, we must support the Kika Biama. We must support the Biafran Defense Forces to make sure that the Boko Haram army, the terrorist Nigerian posts in Biafran territory, and those who are even supporting them, that all of them will never succeed in Biafra land. This is a task that must be done. Biafrans, this is a task that must be done. You must rise up and support the Biafran Defense Forces. They are the men and women that are protecting our land, so that the peace and tranquility that we enjoy will continue to be there. The Biafran Defense Forces are over 100 men, over 100,000 men who are under arms. They are over 100,000 men who are ready to defend your land. Okay? So they are equal to the task. What they need all the necessary tools for them to discharge their duties. They need all the support from Biafrans. That is why we are calling on you to support them. We are calling on you, Biafrans in the homeland. We call on you, Biafrans in diaspora, to support the Biafran Defense Forces. These men and women are ready They are putting their lives on the line to make sure that Biafra is restored. These are the men who are protecting Biafran territory. We must support them. Very, very important.
Papaya. After you, now you. The triple G, I am a dear. After you, now you. Your boys are good to go now. If I the guy off, I'm going to go to the alive. Papando over the triple G. Tala, Guado, Ala, Mela. The triple G. Copy you loud and clear. I for him to cartel, this is like I can't work it, I see like I can't work it, Papando after you now you. Hey, Papa can't go,
Makandum, aya.
These are the men and women of the Biafran Defense Forces that are charged with the responsibility of protecting the Biafran territories. There are over 100,000 men under arms. You need to support them. They need logistics. They need logistics to be able to function. Every Biafran, you see what is happening in Lagos. Your properties are being destroyed and nobody is going to speak for you. But once you support the Biafran Defense Forces, BRGIE government, once Biafra is fully restored, our government will be able to protect your properties anywhere they are all around the world. So as Nigeria is handing over all the military barracks in the north to the terrorists, the Biafran Defense Forces are gearing up for full protection of Biafrans in Biafran territory. Because the Afghan template is what the Nigerian government will eventually arrive at. The Afghan template is what the Nigerian government will arrive at, and we must be prepared to defend our land when the need arises. That is why we are calling on you, Biafran, to support the Biafran Defense Forces. They are ready to defend you. Support the Biafran Defense Forces. They are doing the needful. They are in charge of your protection. So Biafran, you can join us on the studio and make your contribution. Join us on the studio. Join us on the studio. The link is there. And make your contribution. Nigerian government is handing over all the military barracks to the terrorists. The news are there. You can see the terrorists. They are taking over Nigeria. When they kill in communities, they take it over. Nobody is protecting people. These are the kind of that in Nigeria, everyday death, everyday killing. Afghan template is playing out in Nigeria. So we must, Biafrans, we must try as much as possible to support our government so that the terrorists will be evicted from Biafran territories. Very, very, very important. Please, the lines are free. Join us. Join us on the studio and make your contribution. We must continue to preach this message. Our people must be educated.
7 rows, 14 rows, 21 rows, 1. Beat!
Good afternoon, fellow Biafrans. This is the 11th day of November 2024, and I am here again to respond to a question by somebody who just asked me, Prime Minister, what do we do to sustain the peace and security we've brought to Biafra land? And I told him, and I said, I am going to make this video to respond because I know many people are going to be asking the same question. So here is my response. The only way to sustain the peace that we have brought to Biafra territory and to the Biafra people is to make sure that Nigeria never breed within our territory. The Nigeria terrorist army, Nigeria terrorists.
I hope you heard what the Prime Minister said. It is our responsibility to make sure that Nigeria Nigeria never breathes from Biafran territory. Because if you allow the Nigerian government to trade in our land, what you will have is Benue in Biafran territory. What you will have is Castina, Borno in Biafran territory. That is why we must support Biafran Defense Forces. We must support our government while they are going for recognition. We support the Biafran Defense Forces for the total liberation of our land. No breathing space should be given to the terrorist Nigerian state in our land. They can never be allowed to breathe in our land. This is very, very important for Biafrans who don't understand the situation that we find ourselves. Nigeria hates us with passion. All this Islamization agenda, the reason why it has not been completed is because of Biafrans. The resistances that we are giving to the terrorist Nigerian state. As a matter of fact, the Nigerian people should even come out and support Biafra, because when Biafra is free, Nigeria can never Islamize them. But while you are romancing with Nigeria and fighting against Biafra, Nigeria is Islamizing you. That is the sad reality. Just like the Yorubas are crying today. They are now writing petitions. Oh, Nigeria is doing this. Nigeria is doing that. But the Mazin Nnamdi Kanu told them. They forgot all the broadcasts of our leader asking them to wake up, asking them to rise up. That if they did not rise up, that Nigeria is going to happen to them. They forgot what our leader Mazin Nnamdi Kanu told them about the Fulanis. The Yorubas are rising up now, writing petition, telling the world, the UN, atrocity of the Nigerian state against them. But this is an information that has been there since years, when our leader warned them against romancing with the Fulanis. They pretended as if they did not hear because of envy and jealousy and hatred for Biafra. Today they are paying the price. So Biafrans, it is time you support your freedom. It is time you support Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. It is time you support our Prime Minister. It is time you support the APM. So Nigeria will never breathe in Biafra land.
State police and every arm carrying person under Nigeria within Biafra territory must not be allowed to breed, because they are the main cause of insecurity. They are the terrorists that have been terrorizing people, facilitating the attack against indigenous people, and shielding these ragtag terrorists when they come to kill. So we are not going to allow them to breed in Biafra territory until Biafra become an independent state, recognized under international community and the United Nations. I want you to take a look at where Nigeria is breeding, how the security situation are in those places. Take a look in Yoruba land. Nigeria is breeding in Yoruba land. 29,000 people have been reportedly killed by the Fulani terrorists. Look at the northeast, northwest, where Nigeria is breeding. There are many terrorist groups springing up on a daily basis. Innocent women and children are being neutralized every day. Take a look in the middle belt, where Nigeria is breeding. There are people who have given birth to their children inside IDP camp. And many of those children are today 19 years of age. What does that tell you? It means that people have actually left and fled their ancestral land and have been living in IDP camp for more than 19 years. And without any plan
for them to reclaim their land. Their land is now being occupied by strangers. Who are those strangers? The fighters that were actually killing the people and chasing them out of their own land. Nigeria is breeding in the Middle Belt. And that's the reason why we decided that the solution to sustain the security in our land is to make sure that Nigeria never breed. And that's what Simon Ekpa is leading. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
The solution to sustain the security that we have in Biafra land is to make sure that Nigeria breeds in Biafra land. And these men are the reason why Nigeria can never breed in our land. Our Prime Minister, our leader, and our APM. Our APM are the reason why Nigeria will never breed. We can never allow Nigeria to breed in our land. So share this information. Let those who are in Lagos doing businesses, let them understand that they need to support the Biafran government. They need to support BDF so that Nigeria will never breed in our land. They need to support what we are doing so that Islamization can never take place in our land. It is not by mouth. It is not by talkie-talkie. We have to support financially and otherwise so that all these killings that is happening in the north can never happen in Biafra land. Why the Yorubas are writing petitions, why the bandits are killing villagers, why the army, Boko Haram army, are taking up military barracks in the north. The Biafran Defense Forces are protecting the women and children in our land, are protecting our territory. And Nigeria can to breed in our land. Nigeria is the cause of insecurity all over Nigeria. The military and police, all of them are complicit in the crime, in the killings and genocide, Islamization agenda. All of them are in together, including the politicians. The politicians that you have in your various communities, they are benefiting from the Islamization agenda. Yes, because the Nigerian government already have an agreement with them to make them kingmakers, to give them political positions, to approve their contract, everything that they need. Nigerian government will give it to them in exchange for their silence over the killings that is happening in their territories. So Biafrans, wake up and support your government. I salute every one of you. So nobody wants to join me on the studio. Nobody wants to call and make his own contribution. You have a contribution to me. What you see playing out is a planned project of the Nigerian terrorist state against the indigenous people. But in Biafra land, they met a brick wall because we have a government protecting our land. We have an attorney that is speaking in Washington, D.C. We have the BDF that are standing their ground to making sure that terrorism is a thing of the past in Biafran territories. The gallant men are speaking.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're watching me from. I have come up once again today being first of August 2025 to expose the Eastern leaders about what that is happening now. Number one, I am Gentle the Yahoo. The whole world knows me very well. I want to give the list, but not the last, to the conscious world today, for them to understand what is going on. And I want also make this video so that the international community will understand what Biafrans is passing through. I am Gentle the Yahoo. I am not afraid of war. I know whom I am, and I believe the gods of the land. Number one, they extended the release of Nnamdi Kanu because of the evil plans towards Biafrans. They extended the release of PM Simon Ekpan because of their evil plans towards Biafrans. And thank God today it has been known to all Biafrans before me coming up. One, today being the 1st of August, the military, the Fulani in uniform, they have bring them to Okigwa. They have packed them to Okigwa right away as I am speaking. They bring them with trailers to invade Okigwa. That one, by the way. But I just want to expose our leaders, those that call themselves Eastern leaders. Number one, Hope Ozodimba, you must fight and fail. I promise you that one. Alex Onyema, DSS, Enugu, Div, Abuja, Air Force, and all the rest of the forces in the land. All the meetings around, all the plans on how to detain Nnamdi Kanu so that you people can be able to penetrate last in Biafra land. I want the international community to hear this, and I must expose it today. They have made a meeting that they must invade Southeasterners. They must reduce the youth. And Hope has been used by the Fulani to assassinate his own people. And I want the world to understand this, that nothing is moving on in Nigeria. Nigeria have no any reproductory system of government. That is why I always call them a business center. What Nigeria is all about is moving around, assassinating the citizens. If you come up to speak out the truth, they will look away to assassinate you. Now they have planned to kill Gentle. They have planned to move around to assassinate the youths in Okigwa, which everyone have gotten the information. Please and please let the people, let the youth in Okigwa, more especially Okigwa, should take this note. Everyone should be very careful. If you cannot stay, it's better you leave Okigwa, because this idiotic human being their informant that calls himself Ebekuo Dika. Ebekuo Dika, number one, you have signed to kill yourself. You have signed to label the Biafrans. You have signed to destroy all the youths. Ebekuo Dika, one, you are not from Izog. You are not from Okigwa. You are from Arochukwu. You are from Abreba or Hofia. Ebekuo Dika, why wouldn't you leave the people of Arondizog all alone for them to be? Why wouldn't you leave Okigwa all alone for them to be? Why throwing a huge of allegation, a huge of propaganda on my head? Ebekuo Dika, when did I call you on phone? When did I speak to you? Ebekuo Dika, do I have your number? Ebekuo Dika, if you said I have your number, carry that number that I used to call you, post it on net. Tell the world that this is that number that I used to call you, and give them the voice record. Because I believe anyone that you speak with, you must have the record of the call of the person. Bring it out. Let it be an evidence. Ebe Kodike, look at how you have been moving around, deceiving the people of Arondi Zog, deceiving Imo State. Ebe Kodike, I just came out today to debunk all this your selfish and rubbish life towards our people. Ebe Kodike, you have bring the man, Fulani in uniform. They are now at Okigwa. I have gotten the.
This is actually what is happening in Biafran land. This is the position of the Southeast governors and politicians. They are being used to fight against our freedom, but they are not going to succeed. So Biafrans, support your freedom, support the liberation of Biafra from the terrorist Nigerian state. Thank you so much for being part of this program, as we are already going to space to continue our program. I thank each and every one of you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, try and do so. Try and do so that anytime I'm live, you are going to get a notification from me. I appreciate each and every one of you for being part of this program. I salute our leader, Hamadike One of Biafra land. I salute our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekwanjoko. I salute our Acting Prime Minister, His Excellency Honorable Ogechukwu Nkere. I salute the Information Minister, Mazi Soni Akparawa. And I say airborne to the Biafran Defense Forces. Ndewo no mo Chineke. And goodbye from here.